is also standing by as we continue our coverage of the U.S. Olympic track and field trials. We are standing by for the 100-meter dash for the women, and one of the people that we want to focus in on here is Florence Griffith-Joyner in lane 6 rather. Today she ran a 10.6 wind-aided, which is faster than the world record of 10.76 held by Evelyn Ashford.
Fastest that any woman has ever run. Of course, the wind will mean that it won't count, but this has been a great year for her. She was a medalist in '84 at 200 meters, but now she's moved down to 100, and she's one of the top contenders.
Gail Devers is in lane 4. Lane 1 is open. And quickly, Florence Griffith-Joyner blowing away the field in a 10.49. Wind-aided 10.49. Wait a minute. The anemometer says the wind was within the legal limits.
Cannot be. No one can run that fast. The heat here must be doing something to the electronics, but she won by such a margin over Gail Devers, who earlier this year set the American record in the 100-meter hurdle. So that was a good field, and you could see how much she won by. It might be right, but 10.49 is just incredible. Devers in lane 3 had a bit of a lead on Florence right here, but she comes on, much like Carl Lewis, in the second half of the race. So Florence Griffith has moved down from the 200 meters. She worked 2 jobs this year, earlier in the year. Sometimes she worked out at UCLA at 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning. And now it just paid off. They are announcing world record. This would be the biggest accomplishment in track and field in 10 years. If this is a world record and the wind gauge holds up, it's greater than Ben Johnson's 100 meters last year.
Well, regardless of the skepticism expressed by my partner, and I'm amazed to even hear someone like yourself say no one can run that fast. Well, 10.49 is a world record. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this message and a word from our local stations. Indianapolis at the airport, and they were reporting gusts of 18 to 24 miles per hour. Now, the legal limit for a race to have a record held is 4.473 miles per hour, or 2 meters per second. Now, that anemometer really never settled to the point of 0, which is what the anemometer digital readout along the track read when Florence Griffith-Joyner ran moments ago a 10.49 that has already been announced to the crowd as a new world record, eclipsing Evelyn Ashford's mark of 10.76. Well, the controversy here will no doubt be sorted out in a moment as we find out if there was indeed a malfunction. But fast times in Indianapolis. To Las Vegas now, and Keith Jackson.
Record holder Florence Griffith-Joyner. Florence, fantastic, 10.49.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited, very excited.
Tell me about the wind. Of course, that's an area of great controversy right now. Do you feel it dropped?
Oh, yes, it did. Bobby told me to pay attention to the triple jump, and if the wind was down, go for the world record. If not, just go and make it through the next round. The wind felt good. It didn't feel as strong as it did in the first race, and I went for it.
So if the wind had been up, you would have just slowed?
Not really, being more relaxed. I mean, I really went for the record that time because the wind was down. He told me to really go for it.
Then what's the game plan now after a world record in the semis? What's the game plan for the final?
Go to the semis, make it to the final, take the final, go for the world record again.
A lot of people, I'm sorry to change the subject like this, but a lot of people are dying to know about your one-legged outfit. Is it a help, hindrance, cosmetic, what?
No, it just feels good. It's just different, something I designed this year, and it just felt good, so I'm wearing it.
Okay, Florence, back up to you, Al.
Okay, Catherine, no doubt that's part of the drama of today. Florence Griffith-Joyner setting what is apparently a new world record, 10.49 seconds. There's her one-legged outfit, and here is what the race looked like, Marty LaCour.
Okay, in lane 3 and in lane 2, you have 2 good sprinters. Gail Devers had run 10.86 earlier this year, 1/10 of a second off of the world record. But watch what Florence does to the field. It's the gap, really, that leads me to give it some credibility to the fact that the world record was broken by almost 3/10 of a second. I think it's going to take a while to sort this out to see if the timer misfunctioned or if the wind misfunctioned, because the world record has never been broken by anywhere close to this amount.
We have been told by the representatives of Omega, the timing and wind measuring people, that everything was in order during that race. So for now, it is a new world record for Florence Griffith-Joyner in the second round of the women's 100 meters. Back in a moment.
Carl Lewis, the 1984